Cancer compatible with Cancer. See, this is a circumstance situation. This is a conjunction. So when this is a conjunction, understand that you're on top of each other. You are a reflection of each other. And of course, you see through each other's lens. So it's not going to be very hard to basically accumulate or see the different side of each other's spectrums. You guys are accumulated together. You guys are co-ignition together. So of course, that ignition, that passion, that motivation, that emotional nature is more predicated towards an equilibrium of a soulmate. Understand, this is a huge connection on a huge deeper level. Your hearts collides, your passions collide, your energy collides, and of course, this is where y'all two on both ends can like relate with each other on the highest gratitude. Like the both of y'all can relate with each other's perfectly well. Nobody else can relate to their unless it's a water sign, unless they have certain elements or certain perspectives where they can relate to y'all on a day-to-day basis. But the both of y'all right here, this is a huge connection right here, a huge connection, a connection that you guys would never want to basically get rid of, a connection that you guys would basically never want to intrude or get away from. You guys will forever want to be connected, forever want to strive towards greatness. Of course, this is going to be a circumstance situation which our emotions can change because y'all can be enigmas at times. One day y'all feeling like this, the next day y'all feeling like that, because of course, this is a circumstance situation where you never can be in the same space and location. Your spirit is always moving, your spirit is always traveling. So of course you are eating, you are basically swimming, you are basically moving around. So of course you got to get around in life. If you ain't getting around in this circumstance situation, then that means you're stuck into one routine, stuck into one pattern. Of course I get tired as fuck. So of course you don't want to get tired as fuck. You want to experience it. You want to know how to better endure yourself. And of course you're traveling and going through new mechanisms and new asteroids and new interiors, and of course building your antennas, because of course you're always going to know wherever you came from, you're always going to know where you're starting and where you're going. And of course it's very highly important to basically know how your travels is going. So of course you got to know where you came from to basically get back to where you came from, where you started. So it's always important to basically have an equilibrium, equal balance scale. And these two signs can work out. They're very compatible, and of course they're water. So when you got double water here, this is heavy emotions, powerful emotions. So you both are very, very, very psychic, very imaginative at times. Also, y'all can basically pick up the vibes from all over the world from each other. And of course, y'all can be very sensitive when it comes to y'all surroundings and how y'all basically collide with each other. Only thing is, y'all gonna be lacking a little bit of passion, because well, y'all won't lack it, but y'all will lack expressing it. But of course, y'all can switch it up, but y'all really not gonna care too much about the outsiders. Y'all can basically connect on a deeper level, on the deeper end. Y'all can be very sensitive and emotional to what other people, places, and things are saying, especially if they're being too curious to these perspectives. But of course, it takes a little bit of time for these two to basically open up with each other. And of course, when they do open up, of course, that openness, and of course, is going to be highly out there. Okay, y'all gonna get too comfortable with being too open to each other at times. Y'all both gonna want to basically be baby fed by each other. So that means y'all want to basically be loved, nurturing, and care for each other. Feel me? But of course, this circumstance situation, which is the other side of Leo. This is the other side of Taurus, not Taurus, Gemini. So this is a circumstance situation where y'all gonna strive for a hunger when it comes to y'all emotional deepness. Also, Pisces is exalted here. So of course y'all could be very loving, nurturing, and caring, which is very wonderful and gifted. Of course, y'all gonna have that intimacy, that connection, that strive right there. And of course, your imagination is very powerful and strong. Also, Jupiter is connected here. So that means y'all will wanna go deep when it comes to meanings and reasons and principles, and of course tradition. But of course Saturn falls there, but y'all the other side of Saturn. But of course this is a circumstance situation where love, sex, romance will be at a low perspective, because y'all gonna basically strive for emotional connection. Y'all ain't gonna really care too much about how y'all can fuck good, how y'all can feel good when y'all fucking each other at each other or looking each other's up. Y'all gonna be in a circumstance situation. Of course, this connection is very wonderful, it's very great. So we can basically come together, we can work something out, we can get something bougie, aka we can downsize the passions to get more connected with our emotions. But y'all do gotta switch it up sometimes. You can't just be too lovey-dovey at times or too cuddly. Y'all gotta switch it up. When it comes to trust issues, y'all not big on egos. So y'all gonna be in a circumstance situation where y'all can trust each other. Y'all very traditional, of course. Y'all gonna be more inclined to like being at home at times and not being too out there into the wild and shit, depending on what kind of moon sign or rising you have. But this is a circumstance situation. Y'all gonna try to always be at home at times. Always try to basically be loved, nurturing, and care, and of course go to the extremes in these matters. Also, when it comes to thinking the communication skills, It's very wonderful here, but of course, y'all gonna think and communicate with y'all feelings and emotions. Y'all gonna feel too much of the thinkable, logical perspective, because y'all don't really deal with the logic. Y'all deal with the intuition, aka you could base pretty much more your meanings and reasons when it comes to feeling and seeing how you basically project your images on how other people come at you with their energies, or how you come at your energies with your partner and your bait. Also, when it comes to activities, y'all out there internally, aka y'all have a whole perspective of activities. Y'all activities gonna be the same. Y'all gonna do the same shit. It's like a reflection, a mirror of y'all. So the way y'all feel and talk about each other, that's the way y'all feel about each other, about yourselves. Also, this is a circumstance situation where Scorpio falls here. So try not to get too lost into the past, which this can fuck things up with y'all circumstance situation, depending on who y'all was in a relationship with previously. This can fuck things up. Also, y'all gotta be a little bit more passionate towards something. Y'all can't just be coming home, watch TV, laying down, get a little too comfortable. For me, you gotta learn how to switch it up. For me, get more into some passion, motivations, what makes you strive to be ambitious at times. That's where you need the cardinal earth, aka the Capricorn, which is the opposite at times, to basically push you. Also, have patience with you. Also, these two can work out, especially if y'all on some spiritual shit. But 10 times out of 10, y'all gotta be more predicated towards spirituality. And of course, y'all just gotta be a little bit more passionate, a little bit more motivated. Of course, trying not to get too lazy or too comfortable laying at home. Sometimes to learn how to switch it up, get more creative, and get out there. And of course, y'all be got it.